Hi everyone. Good morning. I hope you're able to hear me. Can anyone please confirm? Able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so I think in the last session, what we discussed, I forgot what we discussed.
Triggers.
Yeah, perfect. So in the last session, we talked about the triggers. So one thing that was not able to see, right? Like if we go for um, what is that? The pipeline name. I think I removed it. Let me show the trigger directly so you can try. I gave in the chat box also, like when you go for the storage event, you're not supposed to take like star dot csv something like that. You have to take the ending with what it is. So blob path ends with, we have to specify. So you just keep only dot csv, then it is going to work for you. Okay, so that is the only change that I did and I ran it. So it was succeeded. You can try. And make sure when you're using a tumbling window, make sure to stop it if you're not working it, or if you're not, once your practice is done. Otherwise, every 5 minutes it will go for hit and unnecessary, you're going to get the more bill. Okay, so that is one thing I wanted to say. And today I'm going to talk, it's very, very important for interview point of view and working point of view, that is exception handling. So how exactly we are going to handle the exception that we are going to see. Exception handling, or we can also call it as a error handling. So we have seen how we can feed the logging details. We come across it, if you remember, how we can capture it. But how we can design, if we have a multiple activities. Let's say, for example, I'm having activity 1, activity 2, and activity 3, something like this. So if we have a multiple activities, how do you know which activity is failed? So that details we require. We will get to know pipeline got failed because you're going to have a log details table, right? But I wanted to see where exactly it is failed. Without opening the pipeline, I wanted to get it. So that is the requirement. So activity 1 is connected to activity 2, and activity 2 is connected to activity 3, and so on. We cannot give a guarantee this activity may be failed, or this may be success, or this may be failed. Then if this is failed, then this is not going to execute, right? And if it is failed, and this is not going to be executed. Because if you connect, we have a constraints array. We have a various constraints for every activity. We have a on success, on fail, on complete, on skip. So something like this, we have a 4 different options are there. Using these 4, we can handle the exception. So I'm just going to give one pipeline to check how exactly it is going to work so that you can have a clear picture to implement your exception handling. Let me create a new pipeline here. Pipeline underscore exception handling. So I'm just going to create one variable here. 2 variables I'm going to create. Let's say for time being, I required message and I required error message. So 2 variables I'm creating. One is message and other is error message. Okay, so let me take a set variable activity. So 3 variables I'm taking. Set variable 1, 2, 3. So I wanted to set a value for the message. So here it is a success. On success, I'm going to connect to set variable 2. So here also I'm going to set the value to success. And this will be connected to set variable 3. And here also I'm going to set the value to success. So it's very simple. What I'm trying to do here is I have a 3 activities, set variable 1, 2, and 3. Each variable, each set variable activity is using this message variable. Inside this variable, I'm just keeping success. And here also it is a success. And here also it is a success value it is. Okay. You can have any value. The data type of this message is string data type. So because of that reason, I'm taking some text value here. You can take ABC also. Here also you can take ABC, and here also you can take ABC. So since my variable data type is string data type, I'm just setting the success in each and every place. So this will show success, this will show success, this will show success. Just observe how exactly it is going to show. Just run this one. If you see the output of this, success. Output of second variable is success. Output of third variable is success, because we are setting the value like that. So in place of this, you can write anything. You can write ABC also. Okay, so it will work. Now I don't have any problem if everything goes success, but can we give a guarantee? Here it is a set variable activity, so it's just setting the value. So in place of this, if you have a copy activity, here also if you have a lookup activity or something else, if you have, then definitely you are going to get a problem, right? So actual errors, you are going to get it. So once I explain this concept, you can try for other pipelines, like we implemented incremental loading. Just try to handle error handling with incremental loading. Just try to set up it. So that is a task for you. Okay, so let's concentrate on this. For this task, how for these 3 activities, how we can handle it. Now I'm going to make this fail. What happens, we'll see. I'm going to make this fail. So this is succeeded, this is succeeded. I'm not touching anything for these 2 activities, 2 and 3. I'm going to make this fail wantedly to show you how it is going to be failed. Simple. I'm going to set my variable data type as integer. Now just run this one. Now see here, it got failed. When it is failed, is this executed? This was stopped, not executed, not executed. And this is also not executed. And this is failed, executed and failed. So what is the error? So some error you are going to get it, right? We have to capture that. You have to capture the error. That is what error handling. Okay, so let me show you what error we are having it. If you go here, then you can see error code and error message. You can see the variable message of type, the variable message of type integer. That means message is the name of the variable. This data type, it is having integer, and you're trying to store success. That is a text value. You cannot store success in the message. That is the meaning of this. Integer cannot be initialized or updated with the value of type string. You're trying to update with the variable text, so it is not possible. So type conversion issue, it is there here. Okay, so I'm just taking some error. That may be anything. So for this one, we can take only that type conversion error. Okay, so once this is failed, it is not executing. I wanted to execute this based on this failure. I wanted to execute this based on the failure. So how we are going to do is, we have an option here. If we take this part, this is going to be fail. On failure also we can do it. Now this activity 2 is executing based on the success of the previous activity, because we connected on success to this. Now I'm going to connect on failure. Just observe how exactly it is going to be there. Take out this and connect on fail to set variable 2. Now we'll execute the set variable 2 now. Can anyone confirm? Will it go for execution?
The first one is failing. I think it should go for execution.
Yes, exactly. So based on the failure of this, it is going to execute it. Let's debug it and see the result. Based on the failure of the first one, is executed second one. Second one is also failed, because here also the date type conversion. So third is connected based on the success of the variable 2. Set variable 2, based on that it is going to be executed. Okay. So now this is executed. Now what I'll do is, we can also have a different thing. So this one also I'm just going to connect it with on failure. Now just debug it. All three are going to be executed. But basically we never go with on failure. We are not going to execute frequently. So wherever you feel that there is a failure, wherever you wanted to feed the log, then that particular case we can use it. Now I'm just going to make this place, the value I'm just going to make it 1. Now this is going to be success. Will it execute? If it is succeeded, it will not execute, because we are giving on fail, we are going to execute set variable 2. But now set variable 1 is succeeded and it got failed, because we are taking that. Okay, so let's take out it back, and I'm just going to make it on success. Now I'm going to make this fail, because set variable 2 is having success and variable type is number. Here it got succeeded because we are passing the number. Now let's say debug. Now you can see this is succeeded, but this is failed. Now again I'm going to make 1 here. Now this is going to be succeeded and this is going to be failed. And if you give a 1 here also, then all 3 are going to be executed, because all are having the number data types. Now I wanted to give something like this: on failure, on success. If this is fail, I wanted to execute this. If this is succeeded, I wanted to execute it. Now I'm just going to make this, just run this one. Now based on the success, set variable 3 is going to execute. Do not get confusion. Just try for multiple times, then you can fail. This is very important for interview and even for working also. Now set variable 1, and variable 1 is succeeded on its own, because we are having a 1 here, and here also we have a 1. This is succeeded, this is succeeded. On success of this, it is executed. You can see here, set variable 3 is succeeded. On success of this, set variable 3 is succeeded or executed. Now I'm going to make this set variable 2 fail. Let's debug it. On failure also, set variable 3 is going to be executed because we connected with on failure also. You can say. So what does it mean? So when you connect on success and on failure, this will go for logical OR operation. Okay, if this is succeeded, it will execute. If this is failed, it will execute. So it's a OR operation. It's going to be OR operation. So that is how it is going to behave. Even if the set variables 2 is succeeded, 3 will be executed, and set variable 3 is failed, still it is going to be executed. Now I wanted to keep only if these 2 are succeeded, then only I wanted to execute it. If set variable 1 and 2 are executed, then only I wanted to execute it. So if that is the case, how we can handle this? We can either keep in a, we can keep it in a, what we can say it is, sequence execution, or we can have a something like this. Let's bring this on success and on success. This is a logical ender. Okay, if this is succeeded and this is succeeded, then it will go for execution. Let's execute it. This time your 3 is not executed, you can say. Only up to 1 and 2 executed, it is not going for this. And if you want to make that both together success, then you can just give 1 here. This time set variable 3 is going to be executed. So this kind of connections you are going to have frequently while working. Your activity may be connected sequentially, something like this, or your activities, some activities may be connected with something like this. If you see your incremental loading, lookup 1 we have used, lookup 2 we have used, and copy we have used it. So if both succeeded, then only this will go for success, right? So if you have that kind of situation, how exactly it is going to behave, I wanted to give, so I just gave it. Now, how can we capture exactly the error message? Let me again mimic this. If I wanted to capture the error message, I need to use one more set variable here. Let's say set error 1. Set error 2. Set error 3. So 3 are there here. And if this is failed, I wanted to execute this. And if this is failed, I wanted to execute this. If this is failed, I wanted to execute it. Because I cannot give a guarantee which one will fail. So here I'm just going to say settings, error message, activity 1 is failed. So message, I'm just going to keep it here in all the places. Activity 2. Activity 3. Okay, because I'm not sure which one is going to be failed. So because of that reason, for every activity, I'm just giving a failure. If this is failed, then get this one. If this is succeeded, it will go for this. Now I'm just going to make a everything is getting succeeded, right? So no error message will be captured. See here. Now I'm going to make this fail. Let's say ABC here. Now this is going to be failed, then it is going to execute it. Let's debug it. Now this is failed. So because of that reason, which one executed? Set error 1 is executed. If you see the output here, activity 1 is failed. Now I'm going to make this success. And I'm going to make the second activity is failed, ABC. Let's debug it. Now you can see set variable 2 is having an issue and set error 2 is succeeded. Activity 2 is failed. Now I'm going to make this as 1 here and I'm going to make this fail. So in all the way, I'm just trying to make you to understand. Set variable 1 is succeeded, 2 is succeeded, 3 is failed. So set variable 3 got the message, error message, that is activity 2 is failed. So if I have a 3 activities in the pipeline, that is fine. But if we have a 20 activities, or if we have more than that, then again 20 additional error set. We have to get this error capture, right? Error capture is required. So that means 20 plus 20, 40 activities will be there in the pipeline. This is a bad design. We are not supposed to do like this. So with one set variable activity, with one activity, we have to capture it. With one activity, we have to capture where exactly it is failed. Just observe how I'm going to handle it. So I'm having two different approaches to do it. Okay, so let me show in all the way. Now I'm just going to take out this here, and I'm just going to make this as, let's make this as a get error. I'm just giving some name, and here activity is failed. I'm just giving something like this. But this time, what I'll do is, instead of connecting with this one, I'm going to connect on skip. On skip, I'm just going to connect it. Let's make this 1. Here also 1 is there. Here is 1 is there. Here is 1 there. Now let's debug it. Did get error executed? Not executed. Okay, getter set anything is fine. Let's keep the otherwise set. Okay, so set error is not executed because none of the activities are having an error. Only on skip is going to execute only if any of these activities failed. We just observe how exactly it is going to be. So I'm going to make this fail, ABC. So first activity is going to be failed. Then 2 will be skipped. 3 will be skipped. They're not going to execute. And directly set error is executed. After execution of your set variable 1, your set error is executed. Right? What is the value that we have provided? Activity is failed. That is fine. Now I'm going to make this 1, and here it is a ABC. Now just try again. Again, set error is going to be executed. You can see here. Whatever the activity is executed, your set error is getting executed, right? We are capturing the error. And let me show for other one also. I'm just going to make this as 1, and let's say this is ABC. Let's debug it. Okay, we are getting it. So this is a good design. If I keep everywhere one activity to capture that, then that's not the best practice. Now the problem is, how do you know which activity is failed? This is giving a message, activity is failed. There is, yeah. After this failed, we can give it like this. At any cost, we need to get the set error. Now if we see activity is failed. But now the question is, which activity is failed? I can make this success, and I'm going to make this fail. So your set error is not going to give the answer. Your set variable or activity 1 is failed. It is not going to give those details. Okay, so we need to capture that. If you remember, at the time of explaining the feeding log details into the log table, we used activity output. We used activity output dot error dot message. In the same way here also we are going to get it. Let me get this message. So here I'm not having an activity outputs is because this is a set variable activity. So what I'll do is I'm just going to use existed pipeline. Let me take this parent. So I need a syntax of this. Syntax is required for me. So I'm just taking that. So let's come to the set variable and write a dynamic expression. Activity name, I'm just taking here, copy, set error. In place of this, I'm just going to give set error, output dot error dot message. Let's hit OK. Let's see, is that error message? Output dot. Yeah. So the problem here is not set error. This one we need to take it. Let me take this name. You have to get the error from here, right? Let's hit OK. No. Set variable 3. Let's see. Error dot message. Let me keep the set variable 1. So I'm just trying to get the error message. Exact error message I wanted to get it. Now it is succeeded. Set variable 1 is failed, so I'm just capturing that error message. You can see here. The error message value is the variable value message of type integer cannot be initialized. Okay, that is fine. And now I'm going to make this success. And let's make this failure. It's not going to capture. You can see this is also is failed. Why it is failed? Because this is succeeded, I don't have problem. The problem is this one, it is failed. Okay, and here I have written an expression here to capture the error. You're trying to capture the error from the set variable 1, not from the variable 2, because we have given activity output, activity name is set variable 1 we have given here, but it is failed in the 2. So it is saying that that expression is trying to get this value from here. It cannot bring it because it is trying to take it from here. But if this is something like this, if I say it is 2, then it is going to execute. Now you can see it is captured. So if you have that kind of things, what you need to do is let me try with this. Now you can see if activity 1 is having an error, it is going to check here. This condition is going to be checked. Okay, so it is asking a question. Is set variable 1 having error? If no, then it is going to take from here. Now, if you see the output of this set error message is null because you're not capturing it. You're asking the condition, if condition it is. So it is one of the syntax, if you're aware of .NET or SSIS. In SSIS, we came across this kind of syntax, question mark. Okay, so something like this, it is going to be there. That is fine. So here also I'm going to give a question mark. Just observe. Let's debug it again. This entire thing, we need to concatenate it. Let's make this fail, then we can see. Let's execute it. Now if we see the error message perfectly all right here. Okay, so we are not sure where exactly it is failed. So we need to take this argument. How to use the function, there is a concat function. We have to combine all these three, comma, like this. This is 2 and this is 3. Okay, so we can give a separator. We need to have some separator, right? So I'm just going to take a pipe symbol for separator. Let's take this entire thing and paste it here.
What we need to remove, right?
Yeah, act we need to take out. That's it. Okay. Let's try. Now if you see the output here, it is getting. And I'm going to make this success and I'm going to make this fail. Also, I need to see the error message. I'm able to see the error message. I'm going to make this success and this is going to be failed. Still, you are going to get the error message. But it is not saying which activity it is. Activity name is not given. So for that, so we need to write the expression here. I don't know how to give this. So I'm just trying to give set variable here, comma. So this is going to be concatenated. Let's see how exactly it is going to be there. So I'm going to make this one and let's make this as fail. Set variable one. The variable message is coming like this. Let's keep here also. So this time I'm going to make this success and this time I'm going to make this as a failure. Let's debug it. We'll capture the activity 2 or not, we'll see. But the problem here is again, the set variable 1 also is coming. Okay, so you have to handle with the if statement. If this is failed, okay, you have to do some workaround. You can try with that one, but I'll give another approach in a easy way. So instead of having the set variable activity here, I'm just going to keep the activity something like this. So instead of having this here, what I recommend to do is just cut this one. And I'm going to create a one more pipeline. The main pipeline is this one. Exception handling is your main pipeline. So I'm going to create a new pipeline here. PL underscore testing. Set error, I'm going to keep it here. I'm going to call my pipeline by using execute pipeline activity. What is your pipeline? Error handling, right? Exception handling. Just take that. So I'm going to connect to this. Not on success, on failure. Now I'm going to run up to here. If I run up to here, if it is succeeded, it will say succeeded. If it is failed, it will say failed. Your exception handling is failed somewhere in the, I'm just going to make this one and here also one. Now if I run again, this is going to be succeeded. Execute pipeline one is going to be succeeded because your pipeline is succeeded. You're calling a pipeline. You're calling from here to this one. We already come across this execute pipeline activity. Now, on success of this, I wanted to execute, on failure of this, I wanted to execute it. Now, if I execute it, the problem is we have to take the variable name, execute pipeline one. Let's come to here. So error message need to be here. Let's create a variable, error message. Now I need to take out this and keep your execute pipeline activity. So I don't need this comma, I don't need this. Let's say hit OK. Now just try for debug. This is not going to be executed is because on failure of this execute pipeline only, I wanted to execute it. Now I'm going to make this failure in the first activity, ABC. Now this one is going to be failed, right? So now I'm going to run this one. If you see the output of this, pipeline dot error dot message. Something went wrong. That was mistake, yes. Now just run again. Now if you see, this is capturing the message here. Operation of target set variable one is failed. The variable of message of type integer cannot be initialized. So where exactly it is failed, it is giving the details. Now I'm going to make this variable 2 is going to be failed. I'm going to make this fail. I'm going to make this, success, and set variable 2, I'm going to make a fail. And just run this one. Now we made a 2 is failed. So set variable 2 is failing. It is going to say the exact detail. So I recommend to go this approach. And you can see operation on target set variable 2 is failed. Now I'm going to make this success. Here is one, and here it is ABC. Now, if I run again, you can see set variable 3 is failed. Operation on target set variable 3 is failed. So we don't need to go for concat. The reason why I explained with the concat also is because when you go for interview, If the person is not aware of this approach, then if you give the answer, you don't believe it. So to make them clear, we have various options. We have two different approaches we can handle it. You can say we have used execute pipeline activity by calling that pipeline, and then we used to capture the failure based on the failure of the execution activity. So these details we kept it in a logging table. We can say that. At the same time, we are also having an option, like if you have three activities in a pipeline, if you wanted to capture any one of them is failed, then the last activity, like we can have um, a set error variable, we can set it. And on skip, last activity should be connected with on skip. Then if any one of them is failed, then it is going to capture it. Okay, so if you need exactly where exactly it is failed, then we need to write an expression by concatenating each and every activity output. So in that way, we can achieve it. So that is one of the way you can say. At the same time, we can also explain about it. So in my case, we went for this one.
Sir, can you please show how you have linked the developed pipeline in execute pipeline? I missed that.
Okay. Select this one. Let me take out. Execute pipeline, just drag and drop. Here it is going to ask what is the pipeline, invoked pipeline. So we have used exception handling. That's all. On failure of this, I'm connecting to this.
Got it, sir.
Okay, so this is very important exception handling. So I will give a task to you for incremental loading. We have a diagram like this, right? Incremental loading. Lookup one we have, and lookup two. And then we have a copy activity. This copy is taking data from here and data from here. And then we have a stored procedure, right? If you remember, SP is there. This entire thing is your IL pipeline. So what I wanted to do is, you just keep everything, you just call that pipeline by using execute pipeline. By using execute pipeline. And then just have here you can use the set error, like variable activity. You can use to capture that error, because we have to capture it, right? So just create one variable here, error message. Okay, and use set variable activity. On failure of this, we have to capture it. On failure of this, we have to capture that error message, and that error message we have to keep it in the log table. Okay, so in the log table, I need a ID, pipeline name, and status, and error message. Okay, and wantedly just make this fail. Make this fail and capture the error message. And make this success and failure this. Capture the error message and store in the log table. Okay, and make this two success and make this fail. Capture the error message. Make the success of this three and make this fail. Again, capture the error message. For 4 different errors I wanted to see in your task. 4 different errors. Can you try? So to load the error, to load this one, we need to have a separate stored procedure here. Okay. To feed the log details. Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just try this one. I'm stopping here today. Okay. So from tomorrow, I'm going to start talking about data flow. So what is the data flow and why we are going to use the data flow? We're going to start talking about it.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, in real time, are we going to execute the pipeline from this pipeline executor?
Yeah, we
So
do. Not every pipeline. It's all depends.
because I think in each and every case we have to handle the exception. So in that case, should we? I think we should use.
Yeah, definitely. In that case, you have to. Or you can use the previous option I have given, right, with concat. In that way also you can handle it. But you have to write expression.
Yes.
Either way you can go. Okay. So just try in all the ways. In both ways we can try, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will also get that expression, how we can write it. Directly I will give expression and you can try. But this one you can easily do it. Okay. Okay, then I'm stopping here. We'll see on tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.